Hi, I'm Dominica Lumazar.
And I'm Rory Carruthers.
We help entrepreneurs develop their big picture business strategy in order to break through growth plateaus.
We built several marketing agencies from the ground up and have helped our clients earn over $1 billion in revenue.
Now we want to share everything we've learned along the way.
This is the Big Picture Business Podcast.
That's the beauty.
Yeah.
See? That's the beauty of just knowing your stuff. And people see
and help people.
That you do.
Yeah.
To help people. And that's the business that we are in, to help people. And I know that for anyone listening who has a business, if you're thinking about yourself first and your gains first, you will inevitably have the epic fail. Right? And I know that I talked about you can't fail in business, but truly the biggest epic fail is to not take your customer into consideration first. What are their needs first? What is the solution that you can offer to their problem? There's so many ways to go about making that happen. And there can be the arrogance way. That was my first business, which failed, so to speak, right? Because I was thinking about myself and my own gains. And then there's the how can I help my customer? And that's why I know Rory and I have been really, really successful, because we're thinking about that first. And I think that has a lot to do with what you're talking about, Rory.
And we both have tons of clients who are even more successful than us because we've helped them. And
I love that. That's honestly, that's my favorite thing. Look, like I've got one that makes me think of one of my clients in particular who, they really took a chance on me. I mean, when I first got Sweet Tea Marketing up and running, they were one of my very first clients. They're still with me today. I've made so many mistakes, and they always smile at me and say, don't worry about it. At least you're honest about the mistakes that you've made, and let's just keep going. You've done good work for us. Let's just keep going. There's a lot of value here. And because of the work that I've done, I mean, they're grossing over $8 million a year. And that's significant. That is so significant. I tripled their revenue since the day I started working with them, and it's been about 7-8 years. That's huge, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that have asked me, well, why didn't you structure it in such a way where you get a percentage of the ads that, or what is it? It's like there's a lot of marketing companies that they'll charge a percentage of the total ad spend on top of their fee.
Mm-hmm. So they'll be like, okay, my fee's $5,000 a month. And if you spend more than $10,000 in ads, then we take 10% or 20% of
exactly. And that's
whatever that is on top.
Yeah. And that's a really common model. And shout out to all of you who are doing that. That's fantastic. But for me, I like charging a flat rate and just calling it a day. And whatever comes from that for my client, like I said, they've been with me from the beginning. So I'm pretty happy. We're going to keep it going.
And they're happy because they've like at least tripled their business at this point.
That's it. And when you're able to actually show results like that, you can ask for more. You can say, hey, we've done this amount of work. Here's what I've been charging. And here's what I think my value is. And it might take a couple of years to get there, but I have gone up in pricing, I think 5 different times since I started working with them. And they totally said absolutely 100% worth every penny. So when you're actually able to show value in that way and get your clients what they need, and then some over and over and over again, then there's some good negotiation power there.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing, because that event I was telling you about, where I closed 17%, it was like, so I met a guy there. Okay. And he's a client, and a friend now. And, it reminds me of something that he said to me. He was really, really big in Hollywood. Like he was a VP of a major motion picture company.
Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah.
And so he said like he was so used to just walking into any room It didn't matter where it was, and people knew who he was, and they were just like, sucking up to him, and they always wanted something from him. And then here I come along, and I'm like, I don't care at all about any of that. Like, that's cool, that's awesome, but
well, you care about him, but not about
yeah, exactly. Like, I care about getting him the result that he's looking for. And so I just treated him like a normal human being, and like someone that would just, be like a long time friend and advisor. And he was like, that was like such a breath of fresh air, like, there was no like no front. There was like, I didn't want anything from him. And like, if you approach that with potential clients, you're like, you don't want anything from them, you just want to help them. Okay. You want to get them the result that they're looking for. They can sense that, especially. And then as you get into higher and higher level clients, they've seen everything. Like, they know every trick in the book. They know if you're reading a script, they know like all these things, all the sales strategies and all of that. But if you can be real with them and create a connection, like, you'll get the business. And even if you don't, and sometimes, it might take a year, it might take 2 with certain clients to be able to get them on board, just help them, and get them a result. If you are like getting started in your business, and you are fortunate enough to be put in a position where you're meeting some potential, high level clients, then, don't go in with like a attitude like, oh, like, you need to be working with me because I can do this and this and this. It's like, just help them, like, get them a result. Even, and sometimes you just have to be like, look, I'll do something for free to show you what I can do with certain clients.
I can't, dude. How many different things have we given away for free just to prove that we know what we're talking about? That's a big piece of this whole success puzzle in being in business, and really being able to provide that value. And I know I'm like a broken record over here saying provide value, but truly, and sometimes you got to give it away for free,
Yeah, and be consistent. I mean, like, show up to your meetings on time.
Oh, that's
and show that that you value their time, right? And that you value your own time too. Like, it's a really important perception, right?
And that, I will say, that's my biggest pet peeve in business. Number one, hands down. I can't tell you how many times I have left after 15 minutes. If someone hasn't shown up, I'm out. And there's been many times where they're walking through the door of the coffee shop or wherever we're meeting, I'm out. I say, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming, but this is not going to work for me. And it comes off as like are you serious? You're not going to wait 15 minutes? No, I'm not going to wait 15 minutes, because it proves to me that you didn't plan ahead of time, that you're not taking your business seriously. So why should I take your business seriously? If, and that might be super harsh, but that's my policy. You don't show up late if you want to work with me. that's the deal here, y'all. I'm serious. It's whew.
And once they're a client, both of you are going to have situations that come up. Okay.
Of course.
Right.
Look,
but in the
if they're
beginning,
giving you,
go ahead. Or if it's a consistent thing, right?
That's it.
So those are the things you have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning, and and then while you're in the middle of stuff, if it starts becoming like every single time they're like 20 minutes late, then you need to start having a discussion. It's like,
totally,
either you're going to get billed for those 20 minutes that you're not showing up, or we need to reevaluate this because we don't feel like the situation is, we don't want this to continue.
I really was able to weed out the how do I word this? The wantrepreneurs from the entrepreneurs when I started charging people for the sessions that they missed. And people were coming back to me saying, I can't believe you charged me for that. I wasn't even there. I'm like, well, I was there. So where were you? You didn't give me 24 hours notice. You didn't give me an hour notice. You just didn't show up. So what do you expect? I mean, that's my valuable time. And once you start taking yourself seriously, where you understand the value that you bring to the table, if someone else doesn't get it, that's on them. They had an agreement, they had an agreement. They didn't show up. And so
and we're not the only ones that do this, right? You think doctors do this,
of
lawyers do
course.
this, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So, you have to view yourself as at least that same type of value and level that, if you didn't show up with or didn't give 24-hour notice to your doctor, they're still going to bill your insurance.
Heck yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Even though that might not hit your credit card, it's still happening.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the doctor too. If it's a specialist that isn't covered with your insurance, then you may be getting billed directly, right?
Yeah. 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 That I've been asked that question many times from my clients. Say, what do I do if someone misses their session with me, or how do I handle that? So you bill them. You bill them. And that's why I'm a huge advocate for get credit card information up front, get payment information up front, so that you can just make it a super, super easy situation where you can bill as you need as you go along. In some cases, I mean, obviously you can't do that every time, but yeah, it's if someone has made a commitment to you, you are valuable, your time is valuable. And if you've shown up and done your due diligence and the research to prepare for that meeting, heck yeah, you charge for that, even if they're there or not.
Well, and that speaks to the other side of it, is that rarely is a meeting that you're ever going into just a 30-minute or an hour meeting, because you've got so much prep, and then you have post work that you do as well.
Yep. And I think that's something that is missed by a lot of people who are new to being in business. They don't quite understand that if they're going to be receiving the coaching or consultation, it's not just those minutes. Yeah, there's so much work sometime, full days into figuring out what's going to be the best strategy, the best approach to whatever the situation might be. There's so much extra work that goes into that. So if you're doing calculations where you're like, gosh, someone's charging $500 an hour. It's like, well, it's not just for the hour you're talking. There's so much more that is going into that. So be respectful of the prices, y'all.
Remember to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get notified when each new episode is released. To download the digital episode companions, watch unedited and behind-the-scenes content from this and all our other episodes, get access to exclusive trainings from us and our guests, get direct access to Dominica and myself, and to schedule your business critiques with us, head on over to bpppodcast.com/VIP. The link is also in the description. All right, we'll see you over there.